Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Katherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Katherine Robertson for Attorney General.
This is Katherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit KatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WAC.
Fox News alert, another Swalwell accuser just went public, and the allegations are graphic. Viewer warning.
I believe he drugged my drink. I only had one glass of wine when I arrived at his hotel room. I was already incapacitated and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity.
She says the pain didn't go away.
It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell.
Today, she handed over what she says are damning texts and photos to the LA sheriff. That's now 5 women accusing him of rape, sexual assault, and harassment, and they want justice.
The fact that he has now dropped out of the governor's race and resigned from Congress, is that justice in your view?
No, it's just the beginning. It's just the very beginning. And I know personally that we're not walking away from this fight.
For me, justice won't be until he can't ever harm a woman ever again, and he has faced the consequences for the women that he has harmed.
I think we just prevented another 30 to 40 years potentially of him harming people if he were to stay in Congress.
One woman claims Swalwell sent her nudes she didn't ask for and says he showed up at her apartment uninvited. says this wasn't a mistake, it was a mindset.
He thought that he was untouchable. He didn't care what he was putting out there. He thought that all of these women would stay loyal to him.
My delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power, his background as an attorney, and his family law enforcement ties.
Drugging, choking, rape. These are serious accusations. The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating, and we expect prosecutors in LA to do the same. Swalwell swears he's innocent and insinuates it's a setup. Kash Patel heard that and invited the congressman to sit down for an FBI interview. I doubt he'll do that. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna told us last night her former colleague might end up in cuffs.
I do think that he has serious criminal problems on his hand, and I do think that he might end up in jail, Jesse. And if I could just share with you for a moment, not only did I receive forensic reporting showing that, that infamous video of him in the hotel room was indeed him. It was not AI generated. But I'm also being told that, more stuff is going to be dropping in the next 24 hours. And then also potentially the individual that recorded that video in that hotel room, Jesse, was a female and she was underage.
Oh. Fox hasn't been able to independently confirm Swalwell was actually the guy in the video or anyone in the room was underage, but we're working on it. Democrats raised millions off Believe All Women, remember? They nuked due process in the process. And Swalwell, he led the charge.
My Republican colleagues do not trust women. You don't trust women. Do you all ever talk to women? They deserve better. Trust women, my friends. Trust women. They will get it right.
Turns out Democrats only believe women when it works for them. Everybody knew Swalwell had a zipper problem. Even his best friend in the whole world, not our words, Swalwell's, says he had a rep.
In the beginning, you said when you first heard these rumors a few weeks ago, that's when you called him. Then you said you've heard these rumors for years. So which one is it, Senator?
So I heard rumors of him being flirty.
When you first heard these rumors, should you have acted when you first heard these rumors several years ago?
The rumors I heard were that he was just a flirty social guy. That's it.
Nancy had to know. She was his mentor. Pelosi put him on the House Intel Committee and had his back after Fang Fang. She also tapped him to take down Trump on impeachment, J6 committees. Nance sponsored him. Now she says, don't look at me.
Some Republicans and others are saying that Democrats turned kind of a blind eye, that they knew what he was up to.
No, it's not true. It is absolutely positive. It's true that they may say that, but it is absolutely not true.
You had no idea.
None whatsoever.
Nancy knows everything. It's her job to know. She knows who's having an affair, who's having money troubles, whose kid has a drug problem. Nancy's a lot of things, but she's not ignorant. Hollywood poured over $100,000 into Swalwell's campaign. Sean Penn, Robert De Niro, Jane Fonda. Big names, big checks. Did they know Swalwell's dirty little secret? Little Eric was crashing in his big billionaire backer's pool house. Now the donor's like, Eric who?
Did you suspect this at all?
No, I was blown away.
How's your relationship with Eric? Are you guys still friends?
Eric who? Is that clear?
After the coup, everyone plays clueless. Democrats had dirt on Swalwell the whole time, but he was useful as a weapon against Trump. So they turned a blind eye to his shenanigans until he threatened their power in California. Then boom, coup. Nuked him on the eve of the primary. They fired their first shot Friday in the San Francisco Chronicle, hometown paper, make it look local. Then every endorsement got yanked. Like clockwork, victims started appearing on TV, and by Monday, he was done. The last accuser today was supposed to be the kill shot, but he was already out. Someone call 911. I'd like to report a murder. This was such a highly orchestrated, well-executed political assassination. The only way this could have been pulled off in 3 days, if the Democrat machine knew about Swalwell's skeletons for years. Reporters are running around D.C. bragging they had dirt on Swalwell this whole time. Other congressmen, staff, they're all saying, yeah, we knew. Did they dig into it? No. Did they tell him to knock it off? Doubt it. Did any of them help the women? No. They waited until the machine gave the green light. and then said, yes, sir, and took him out.
Calling all stations.
Same thing happened with
Clear
the
the
Biden
air
cover-up.
lanes. Clear
They knew
all
Joe
air
was
lanes
toast.
for the
Biden-
big broadcast.
Played that clip late yesterday in the 4:30 listen to Jesse Waters. It's happy hour, and he's stuck on 3.1 of NWACB. David Blackman joins us for our tour of the Idiocracy. Co-host Pamela Dubuque is here again.
And here they are.
You're a man. You're a very bad man.
Sorry about that, angry little Democrat. At 14 minutes after 3 o'clock, so David will be joining us shortly. And we've got a ton of stuff to cover. Where did the market finish up today? There's so much to keep track of. Well, it was down 64 points. Not good, not bad. And we'll get a complete take on the blockades, how this is impacting oil markets, what we can expect short-term and long-term on gas prices and everything else. In the meantime, it seems like, did you see the story about the former lieutenant governor of Virginia?
Yes.
Murder, suicide.
And one of his children is who called 911.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's the party of the crackpots and crazies. And this is the one thing that gives me hope when it comes to midterms, that we just cannot hand the country over to them. You look at what Virginia, and maybe Trump eroded some Republican support in Virginia. I don't know how that space cadet became governor, but they're already regretting it. And that's just one state. If control of Congress goes back to them, the next 2 years will be a nonstop horror show. So we have to hope for the best. Not that I want to be Debbie Downer here on a Thursday afternoon at 1:15. What do you say we will get Skipper in here for our first traffic update in just a moment? And I would like to remind guys listening that Montgomery Men's Health is there. Men's Health, that's the name, powered by Men's Pro. Talked to and consulted with a number of listeners about what happens there. There is no mystery. It's all about science and medicine. For a guy, a proper testosterone level is just critical to feeling good, energetic, vibrant, vital. I could make a long list of parallel adjectives. I'm not here to be at the source. I'm here to tell you that it's not magic. What they do there is science, and it works quickly. But it starts with that $99 test to see what the T level is, and if it's low, it can be adjusted quickly. And you feel this amazing renaissance in energy and caloric burn, better sleep. It impacts in so many ways. Yes, they treat issues like ED with real medical solutions and not some of the black magic you see advertised on social media, stuff that makes ridiculous claims. So you're going to hate me for saying this, but follow the science, because that's what Montgomery Men's Health is, science and medicine. It's easy to make the appointment. Call 334-440-3663 or visit them online. You can make the appointment there, MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Do it, guys. It's 3:17. Skipper.
Well, if you were in downtown Montgomery, we had an accident a few minutes ago at Monroe Street at North Bainbridge. That is right near the state capitol. Minor in nature. Now, other than that, light to moderate traffic around the city. Boulevards are a bit busy, but no real issues there. I-65 and 85, traffic flow is good through the city. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. We'll keep you updated. Thompson Tractor will have deep discounts on used equipment April 23rd at 11:30 a.m. Skid steers, excavators, dozers, aerial lifts, and more. Thompson Tractor off I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway on Highway 80. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
Attention River Region business owners. Local counties are now inspecting and enforcing backflow prevention requirements. Headley Plumbing is fully certified to install, repair, and test backflow preventers, helping you stay compliant and avoid costly violations. We've been serving the River Region for decades with dependable professional service you can trust. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the River Region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
This is Jennifer Pestricelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're an experienced sales professional ready for more opportunity, more income potential, and more control over your own success, we should talk. At Blue Water, you'll work with local business owners to develop strategic marketing campaigns across 7 radio stations and a growing digital platform, including social, streaming, and targeted advertising. Outside sales experience is required. Media or digital experience is a plus. If you're ready for a career move that rewards performance, send us your resume today. BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is not headline news. It's National Eggs Benedict Day. I don't know about you, but I prefer eggs that didn't betray our country. A jury found that Live Nation and Ticketmaster illegally maintained a monopoly over ticketing at events. It didn't help that Ticketmaster charged the jury an extra $85 fee to enter the courtroom. Bill Belichick turned 74 today. But remember, you're only as old as the person you feel. And an Akron, Ohio man won the lottery twice in the same day. Before you call him lucky, keep in mind, he lives in Akron, Ohio. This is not headline news.
You know, we wondered from time to time, the whole Somali waltz thing, all that fraud.
What's going
That
on?
reminds me to put that on the list with David. The California law.
About investigative journalism?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Outlawing investigative journalism.
That's ridiculous.
It tells you.
Tell me you're corrupt without telling me you're corrupt.
Yeah.
Also, it's weird? I went and had Eggs Benedict this morning, and I didn't even know it was Eggs Benedict Day.
I didn't know that either. It's National Librarian today.
Oh, really?
National Librarian Day today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's always National Librarian Day in your heart if you love reading.
I do a lot of reading.
Me too.
And I'm one of those rare people, one of those dinosaurs left who knows a little bit about the Dewey Decimal System. I don't even know if they use that anymore.
Yes. How else do you organize books? Certainly.
I learned alphabetical order.
I mean, yeah, but they go together.
Let's see, the California law. We had did you know we had a shooting of an officer in Auburn yesterday?
I saw that.
Do they know it? Was that illegal?
Oh, I don't know.
I would like to ask all those Auburn libtards if you're okay with that. Because that's what when you with your no kings, beazle, schmeazit, and all the rest of it, yeah, you must be okay with that, I think. Letting these folks, every day there's another story about somebody an American citizen who loses their life to somebody who shouldn't be here. But in the big picture, David Blackman, oil and gas industry expert, he'll be able to give some insights.
Wait, is this what was yesterday?
It happened last night. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Lee County deputy.
Someone we know and love was dispatched to that case.
Guatemalan national.
Okay. Why is it okay to be a Guatemalan national and not a white national or an American national? I can't keep up with the ever-changing left-wing glossary of terms. And was it a woman police officer that was shot?
It doesn't say so far.
And by the way, the Yankees suck. Let me just get that out of the way early. day game today. Just what I needed to cheer me up coming in.
It just says one of the deputies was struck in the arm.
7-4 to the Angels, who suck.
The victim that called officers to the home or, needed assistance was a female who had apparently been held captive and assaulted multiple times.
In the meantime, with David, we'll get his expertise on oil prices and where things are headed there, what's happening, the impact of the blockade around the world, and maybe things will get bad enough with some of these countries. They might want to help out. I'm not counting on it. All these countries that wouldn't be free at all if it hadn't been for us. Where are they when we need a friend? Hard to find. And the most interesting number, and we'll go take a deeper dive with David on this, but the most interesting number in today, 58% of Catholics have strong approval for Donald Trump. Despite his, and I thought it was totally justified. The Pope's not a politician.
Mm-mm.
And he wants us to have open borders and all the things that have just about destroyed the country. And I'm sorry.
Does he have open borders in the Vatican?
No, there's rather tall walls there.
Yeah.
The Vatican is not a place I would try to go without authorization.
No.
But you see, that's different. And that's what pisses me off. In fact, I think David would agree. He was selected because he is a liberal Chicagoan. And boy, are they paying the price up there. They can't even, I'm not going to go into it. 325, you can find us on YouTube. Happy Hour with Greg and Pamela. Brett McDonald will analyze today's market activity at 5:15. He's with Invista Advisors, and they would love to have a chance to sit down with you and help you put a financial plan together, whether it's for tax purposes, retirement, whatever your need happens to be. These are great people that will not try to sell you anything. What happens there sells itself. 387-0094.
Traffic is brought to you by Skipper Pools. Skipper Pools for weekly service, equipment and liner replacements, and a sparkling pool all year. 356-0237. Skip the rest. Call the best. Skipper Pools.
David Blackman at the conclusion of this break. News next with Guy.
We have light to moderate traffic flow. I-65 at 85 through Montgomery. Boulevards light to moderate. Building just a bit already this afternoon. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka not reporting any issues. Overall, looking good. Even here, we'll update you when accidents happen. Lowest tax rates in Alabama are at McKinnon Nissan. Plus, they've got up to 0% financing on 2026 Muranos. It's worth the drive, and they need your trade-in. See David at McKinnon Nissan for all the details. Exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Wetumpka man has been charged with murder after a boating accident on the Alabama River. The accident happened March 7th near Northern Boulevard, where a 19-foot boat ran aground on the east bank of the river. The boat's operator, along with 2 passengers, were taken to Baptist South, where 30-year-old Jonathan Behringer recently died. The driver of the boat, 30-year-old William Alexander Ackerman, was arrested Wednesday and charged with reckless murder. Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill on Wednesday intended to stop people from buying candy and soda with SNAP benefits. The law requires the Department of Human Resources to request a waiver to exclude candy and soda from the list of eligible items for SNAP purchases. Alabama joins 22 other states in requesting such a waiver from the USDA. Montgomery police have arrested a juvenile in connection with a double shooting that left one person dead and another in critical condition. The shooting happened April 6 just off Zelda Road in the 200 block of Gatsby Drive, where an adult male and a juvenile were wounded by gunfire. 18-year-old Vincent Grider later died of his injuries. No update has been given on the younger victim's condition. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
Y'all hear about all those politicians making money in the stock market?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi's making a killing.
Yeah, she is. And so is Coach.
Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah, he and Pelosi are making millions. Turns out old Senator Tuberville's trading ag futures while he's on the ag committee.
Wow, Tommy Tuberville's making a killing in the stock market.
Yep, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's all just a big game to Coach Tuberville.
In 2024, Tommy Tuberville made millions trading stocks, just in 1 year.
Wonder what else there is.
So Tommy Tuberville is making millions in the stock market, all in the industries he regulates.
Tommy Tuberville's great at making millions for himself.
Now I want to know.
Just how much money did Tommy Tuberville and Nancy Pelosi make for themselves in the stock market?
Why don't we ask him? Let's call Tommy Tuberville. Ask him how much money he made himself in the stock market.
And tell him, for us, it's not a game.
This advertisement is paid for by the Alabama Leadership Fund.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Okay, who's all in on Eric Swalwell?
I know the Golden State will be in good hands with Eric Swalwell. And I hope you'll join me in supporting his campaign.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm with Eric Swalwell. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. We're in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I am all in.
You guys get the opportunity to have someone very effective in a position of leadership.
Somebody who's capable, knowledgeable, and experienced. There's no one more real than Eric Swalwell.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. What about you?
As the 21st century began, natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process that had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. A dumbing down.
Like those people voting for
How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
David Blackman and Greg Budell present Tales of the Idiocracy.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
And co-host Pamela Dubuque with David Blackman as we travel through the miracle of the internet and technology to somewhere in Texas, Dallas, and vicinity, to America's greatest and most perspicacious political blogger, Dodger fan, and the man who has the 10-gallon brain. It's David Blackman, everybody, back on this Thursday afternoon. David.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Got the echo again.
Yeehaw.
Oh, let me remove that. Because for you to hear the clips we play, I have to put a button down. But as soon as the clip plays, then I got to take the button up so you don't hear the annoying echo. And I'm told we're working on it. I went to upper level management and said, look, you got to fix this problem. And they said, so hopefully we'll have progress soon. Before we got a great list of things to kick around. And by the way, we have a 4:45 wrap today. California, the cradle of the idiocracy. Did you hear all those Californians all in for Eric Swalwell? Wow, they were just so excited.
Oh,
yeah. They passed a law outlawing investigative journalism.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're just trying to shut down real investigations into the fraud out there because it's how these Democrats are becoming rich.
That's so crazy.
And it's not just in California, it's all over the country. And, anywhere in a blue state for sure, but in some red states as well. And so they're doing everything they can to keep the grift going as long as they can. And that even means shutting down real investigations while their attorney general pretends to investigate it, but he really doesn't do much.
Right.
So, yeah.
That sounds like a constitutionally flawed approach to...
I think it's illegal. I think it's unconstitutional. It's a violation of the First Amendment. And Nick Shirley, has every right to perform those investigations. And so does anybody else who wants to do it and ask questions. And so, I mean, it'll sail through the state courts because all the judges are Democrats too, and they're all in on the grift too. But once you get to the federal courts, it'll fall apart.
And I want to go to Virginia because to me, the new governor, Spanberger, is the face of the idiocracy. She, I'm beginning to make the case that liberals are actually a species of people because so many of them look the same.
Yeah.
They're homely. They have straight, dry hair. When they're looking into the camera, they're making eye contact with something that isn't there, the future, whatever. So did they pass a law that would require their electors to vote for whoever wins the national popular vote?
Yeah.
Again, they did.
Yes.
So why vote in Virginia? We'll just wait and see what everybody else wants.
Yeah. I don't even understand why anybody would bother to vote in the presidential election.
Yeah.
They're one of 9 states now. Colorado was the last one to do it. But I think there's 9 states total now that have done that. So why would anyone even bother to go vote in the presidential election? It doesn't matter.
So
in those states,
the ultimate goal is to negate the Electoral College. Right. What is their problem with the Electoral College? It's as representative. It's as democratic as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, but right now it's not to their advantage as a party. Right.
Oh,
now 50 years ago, they ought to be careful about this because 50 years ago, it was totally to their advantage as a party because California was largely a Republican state and it had the most electoral votes. And, whoever won California was probably going to win the presidency. And New York kind of went back and forth between the Republicans up until the 60s and the Democrats up until the 60s too. But now, of course, they've got those 2 big population states, California being the biggest, that are just locks for the Democrats, for their party. But nothing else is. And so you have all these states that are gaining population, like Texas and Florida and Alabama and Georgia, the Sun Belt states. People are moving there out of New York and out of California. And they're going to lose 14, 15 net electoral votes in the 2030 census in all likelihood. And so they see their power slipping away from them as a political party, and they're doing this to try to preserve it because they know they're going to win California by 10 or 12 million votes, and they're going to win New York by 4 or 5 million votes. And it's really hard for a Republican candidate to overcome that kind of an edge in those two states, in the rest of the country. So that's why they're doing it. And there's people don't get educated about it anymore in our schools because our schools are run by Democrats. But
yes.
the Electoral College exists for a reason. And the reason is that the founders knew if they didn't create that kind of a mechanism, then national policy would inevitably be dominated by the big population states that at that time were Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New York, to the detriment of all the other states in the country. And yeah, I mean, if we chose presidents purely on a popular vote, then everything California does would become national policy. And so that's why they're trying to do it. And like I say, they've already turned 9 states onto this insanity, including Colorado, which as recently as 10 years ago was a 50-50 state. And now all these Californians have moved over there and destroyed it. And so,
well, they're all smoking dope all day out there too.
Yeah.
I mean, the state is buzzed. By the way, that's another interesting statistic. In Colorado, half of all fatal traffic accidents there involve somebody with pot in their system.
Sure.
So this whole idea that it's going to cut down on DUIs and people drinking and driving.
Well, it'll cut down on DWIs, driving while intoxicated, but it won't cut down on driving under the influence, right?
Yes.
Because under the influence covers all the narcotics like marijuana.
I'm not trying to hop around like Bugs Bunny here, but since I opened with that Swallow clip and Schiff and Sean Penn and so many others, I'm in.
Sean Penn.
Yeah, really. I mean, the guy looks like he was
drugged out old fool. I mean, that guy.
Seriously, in this clip, and I'm posting it on Facebook. I had to convert it from Twitter. I'm about to put it up in a minute. He looks like he was just pulled out of a toaster.
I was thinking he looks like he was on a deserted island and they just got washed ashore on the mainland.
For everybody that wondered,
Row in Los Angeles,
For everybody that's always wondered, the Sonny Fox guy that that's a guy that talks like this, who was a radio guy in Florida, my big rival.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what he looks like, take a look at Sean Penn in this clip when I post it. It'll tell you. How is this? I mean, it's amazing. Swalwell has just completely, I mean, they all turned their backs. Jesse Waters did a great bit and showed everybody from Pelosi didn't know anything. I'm shocked. I had no idea he was doing this. This is all well and good, but why is it so hard for your garden variety Democrat to recognize this and at least be somewhat outraged?
Well, because it's to the detriment of their power base. You know, anything that reflects negatively on the party, they have to pretend no one else in the party knew about it, because that would reflect negatively on the party overall. And the party, you got to remember, these people are all communists. Okay, they're all Marxists. And so it's just like the Soviet Union, where the Communist Party is the most important thing in the country, and the preservation of the Communist Party is the most important consideration. And so the Democrats are no different, and they have to pretend to be ignorant of what Swalwell was doing, even though it was an open secret and everybody was talking about it, all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
Ruben Gallego's the one that gave me the biggest laugh. Pelosi, you could almost believe it because she's half lit all the time and she's in her 80s and generally out of it anyway. But Ruben Gallego claims to be the guy's best friend and claims to and was with him on all these junkets and on the yacht parties, and and there's videos and photos all over the place, and claims
is he the one suspected of being is he the one that's suspected of being the cameraman in one of the videos?
No, that was supposedly another member of the House, and now I'm going to forget who it was.
Like a video of an assault?
There's a video floating around a Swalwell in a bedroom with a hooker, and somebody.
Who was the cameraman?
Right, and Initially, the rumor was it was Gallego, but then it became some other member of the House, and I'm forgetting who it was.
Can't wait to
But
find out
Gallego,
who.
it could have been Gallego. It might have been Gallego for all I know. It might, as likely as anyone else, since he was his quote best friend who didn't know anything about him. I mean, how many truly best friends have you had in your life? Okay. Who had any real secrets from you?
Yeah.
In terms of their behavior when y'all weren't together. I mean,
right.
If you're really someone's best friend, you generally know what's going on with them, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's just completely unbelievable. And, but it's typical. It's classic. They even tried to save his House seat. They started with this script that they all went out and put up on X saying, I am shocked and horrified to learn of these allegations against Eric Swalwell, and he should cancel his gubernatorial campaign. And that's all they said. They didn't say anything about resigning his seat. And that went on for like 36, 48 hours until it became so obvious that the public recoil from that was going to be so hard on the rest of them that they all then started having to put pressure on him to resign his seat. They were forced to do that. They didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't get away with that, at least. But, I suspect you'll notice that Tony Gonzalez, a Republican, who's also a complete POS of a human being.
Yes.
Has been doing the same kinds of things Swalwell's been doing. He resigned an hour after Swalwell. So there's obviously was a deal made because they were about to have removal votes on both of them in the House this week if that hadn't happened. So there was obviously a deal made between the Speaker and the Senate House Minority Leader to sacrifice those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect, my belief is, you're going to see the media move quickly away from this story. They already have today. There's not a lot of reporting.
Yes, they have.
And they're going to leave Gallego alone. Yeah. And so this is going to be the end of it. There's not going to be a big bunch of people, get caught up in this.
By the way,
the deal's been made behind the scenes.
If you're listening or watching us on YouTube, Happy Hour with Greg and Pamela with David Blackman, feel free to call 272-9228 in the 334 if you have a question or a comment. And this just in from our friend Marty. He says, I do wonder, I know I'm an influencer now when I read this because of the way it's written. I do wonder what, if anything, will happen to Swallowell's best friend, the senator from Arizona. If you saw his interview, he was nervous as hell. Of course, I'm waiting on Adam Schiff to go down next.
That's the guy who really
seemed like Swalwell was.
He and Swalwell have been running buddies for a decade. Okay, I mean, they were. Of course, Schiff is probably not engaged with a bunch of women. Okay, Schiff is most probably not interested in women. When you really look at the rumors about Schiff.
I heard the feeling's mutual.
Yeah, they've been big friends, and I mean, there's just no telling what's in Adam Schiff's closet. And I hope we find that out someday, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
You know what those two remind me of, Swalwell and Schiff? Schiff hangs around with Swalwell because he's the better looking guy, so Schiff hangs out with him and takes whatever's left over. The wingman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
The wingman's just not interested in Swalwell's leftovers.
All of this.
He might ought to hang out with Lindsey Graham is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's go. Sorry.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
I wondered about that. The California governor's race, that primary is soon, right?
June 2nd.
Isn't it like a month away or
6 weeks? June
okay,
2nd.
Not too far. And you made mention of a poll. Tell us about the poll and what it's currently showing in their jungle primary
there's
process.
a new poll. I think it's an Emerson poll came out today that had been taken after Swalwell's scandal resignation. And the two Republicans are still running first and second. Steve Hilton's out to a pretty sizable lead, 7 points. I think he's at 20. Chad Bianco, the Republican sheriff of Riverside County, is at 14.5. And then, so they're the top two in this jungle primary. And then the Democrats are lined up behind them with Tom Steyer at the top of that pack at 14.1%.
He's a
And then,
crackpot.
yeah. And then Javier Becerra, who was Secretary of HHS under Biden, and as horrible a secretary as Pete Buttigieg was at transportation. And then the ogre who pours boiling water filled with potatoes.
Oh my God!
Katie Porter is back there at 10%. So, the resignation hasn't yet had the impact the Democrats wanted, which was to vault Steyer up ahead of at least one of those Republicans. But he spent a lot of money. He's probably spent, he spent millions this week on television and social media ads. So, maybe it'll just take a week or two for him to get traction.
Do you think one of the Republicans will finish in that? Because
Hilton, I think Hilton will finish in the top two. He'll probably finish second in the jungle primary.
So Hilton Steyer, they both have money. Hilton could compete on that basis, right? You have to run some ads that really clobber people over the head.
Hilton's not a billionaire like Steyer. I mean, he's not part of the Hilton Hotel family. He's the guy, the bald-headed guy who used to be on Fox News all the time. He's British by birth, but he's, naturalized citizen. And really smart guy. His campaign hadn't been all that well funded. And, of course, he's going to have a hard time raising money in a general election when he's not going to pull more than 37% of the vote.
We have a call.
We do.
At 272-9228. Mushroom, you're on with David Blackman.
Hey, I'd like to ask your guest what he has to think about what I think the Democratic Party is going to suggest. And what they're going to do is offer a redeemer and savior for governor and president. I'd like to know who he might think that might be. Thank you.
All right. That might be referencing Kamala.
Well, Kamala's going to run for president. I mean, she's made that obvious over the last week. I'm not sure what the Redeemer and Savior reference is. They're offering Tom Steyer as governor and Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom as president. I'm not sure either one of those qualifies as a redeemer or a savior. They qualify as buffoons and criminals, but I'm not sure that redeemer and savior is among the proper descriptions for them.
There's another tragedy out of Virginia today. The former lieutenant governor killing his wife or ex-wife and then himself. And just beyond the facts of the story, here again, David, as you were talking about all the people that knew what was really going on with Eric Swalwell, this guy too, apparently a lot of people were aware of how bad that situation was and nobody did anything. And then it happens and now it's too late.
Yeah. And he, back in 2018, you remember in 2018, Stacey Abrams and Pete Buttigieg and Beto O'Rourke were the rising stars in the Democrat Party.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Remember that? And this guy was with them. He was another one who was mentioned as, the future national leaders of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, his life spiraled out of control since. I read that article. It's really terrible, tragic for those kids.
Yeah. Stacey Abrams.
Haven't heard much about her.
Who's she stealing from these days?
I don't know. She must be hanging out with Jasmine Crockett because I don't ever hear anything about her anymore either. It's really sad.
Yeah, she fell off the radar big time.
But Jasmine D. Crockett did turn up in a story I saw somewhere today, and it was a comment pertinent to Swalwell, I think. I don't know. She's kind of toast, ain't she?
Yeah,
least
I
for the
mean,
time being.
I don't know what she's going to do. I just assumed they would, find her a big job within the party somewhere, but maybe she just pissed the wrong people off or something in the Texas Democratic Party. I'm not sure what's going on with her. Because
Maybe they can
usually,
find.
that when they do something like they did with her, it's not like they shoved her out because of scandals like with Swalwell, and
Yeah.
she was a very high profile member of the House for the Democratic Party. And so usually when they rig a primary like that and force someone out of their political career, the Democrats will find a way for them to fall upwards so they don't become a problem for the party. And so I just
Right.
assumed that, she'd turn up as the head of some NGO, some grift NGO, making a bunch of money to just pacify her and make sure she doesn't cause any problems. But, maybe it's just too soon and they haven't gotten around to it yet, but it just seems odd that she's just disappeared like this.
I got to ask about another Democrat, this one from Florida. Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, charged with stealing federal disaster funds.
Oh, right. Yeah. $5 million.
Is she still in Congress?
She is, but there's supposed to be a vote to expel her this week too. I'm not sure if the speaker made a deal with Jeffries not to go after her on that vote in order to force Swalwell out. We just don't know the details of what the speaker agreed to with Jeffries on this deal. There's no telling.
It's
Republicans
astonishing.
always chicken out and give more than the Democrats do.
An indictment on a charge like that. She was stealing money and using it for personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be prosecuted for that too. I mean, she's facing an indictment
in Florida,
where
Ron DeSantis is governor.
Yeah.
You just don't grease the exits quite as easily.
Mm-mm.
So, this corruption is rampant, and all of it, I think, helps at some level diminish the momentum towards a big sweeping change in the House and Senate in the midterms. Because what are they offering besides hate?
Yeah, but some people love that.
What? That's true. We become
that's what excites their base.
An emotionally retarded country in that regard. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. I think we've covered all of that. When we come back, it's 3:55 already. Holy cow. We've got a lot to talk about with the blockade, what's happening overseas, how is this all playing out. But David, the most interesting number today is that 58% of Catholics support Donald Trump in spite of his spanking of the Pope.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I think there's a general realization among the Catholic membership that, the Pope has gotten out over his skis with the politics, and he continued to do it today, by the way, on his X account.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, you've got this social media Pope now, which is bizarre and weird. And I think there's kind of a revulsion kind of growing among the more mature Catholics, that's not really what the Pope of a church is supposed to be involved in. It's just, and to have those three archbishops lined up there on 60 Minutes Sunday night, one of which looked like Bill Belichick's twin brother. Did you see that? Dude looks just like Bill Belichick. It was so bizarre watching that. But anyway, you got these three liberal archbishops from the Chicago area, railing against Trump and talking about the need for open borders and all this crap that the Catholic Church has spent $100 million on. I think there's kind of a revulsion among a lot of Catholics. Why is our church doing that with our money? That's not why we're giving this church that money.
Yeah.
And and
what about all the innocent Catholic American citizens that have been bludgeoned or murdered by some of these illegals that they want to keep the open borders for?
Yeah.
How do you explain that? They're on the wrong side.
You know that 48% of the murders in the United States last year were committed by illegal immigrants? 48% of the murders.
That needs to be known. And the Republicans
That's incredible.
better get their act together and start marketing those facts, because that's the only hope for the midterms.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Joe Biden.
Yeah. They should charge him as a co-conspirator. All right, we're going to pause here because I don't want to start another topic and then have to take a break. But man, that was a fast 25 minutes.
It really
Sure was.
If you'd like to join us, 272-9228, and I urge you to follow and subscribe to David Blackman by visiting davidblackman.substack.com. And for energy, and this is critical, if you want to get real facts from a guy who has spent his life in the energy business, the energy blog is also worth a look, because I know it works for me. It makes me sound smarter than I actually am. And that's the blog address for your energy is Blackman@substack.com.
Just my last name, yeah, Blackman.substack.
Okay, and we'll be back with David in about we're condensing our break, so we have 3 long segments, and we just wrapped up segment 1. If you have a family crisis, and it could be a current situation, it could be somebody from the past who has emerged with new demands or trying to break an existing agreement, these things can turn you inside out, and that's understandable. But don't let that happen. Take the power back by turning the situation over to people best equipped to handle it, not only to deal with whatever the other side is demanding, but to protect you. And not just legally, but emotionally, because these things can mess up your life. But they will only if you let them. The most important thing I've learned in all my years is turn it over. And this is what Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson are wired to do for you. The legal wisdom is beyond evident. I've, in all the times, conversations, asking questions from Jacqueline and Dana about this or that, they never go look something up. They have that wisdom. But the other thing they bring to the table is that sense of direction that you so desperately need when things are upside down. Like, okay, this is where you're at, and this is where you want to get to, and here's how we're going to do it. Just follow. And that makes it so easy. That's what they're there to do, is to take that weight off your shoulders and get you back to a life where you can breathe again and move forward. For a consultation, whether it's you or you might want to give this number to somebody you know who's in crisis, 819-4810 here in the 334, 819-4810, or reference people to this web address, the AlabamaFamilyLawyers.com, for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
A representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
All right, off the traffic, Salem Radio Network News, Richard's forecast, back with David.
Traffic flow around the Montgomery area, light to moderate. We've been a little bit busy on I-65 and 85 in the boulevard. Taylor Road, also Norman Bridge, Fairview Avenue. And in Prattville, Highway 14 out near Big Bass Bait and Tackle, got a minor accident there. Other than that, looking pretty good in Prattville. Millbrook, Wetumpka looking good as well. We'll keep you updated. Invisible Fence has both indoor and outdoor systems to keep your pets safe and in designated areas. Call Vicky at Invisible Fence for all the information and details. 334-265-2585. Buckle up with the J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
President Trump told us,
it takes homegrown food to make America healthy again.
Farmers are an indispensable national asset, part of the backbone of America.
And fourth-generation farmer Jack Williams agrees.
People want stuff grown here. They want to know what they're getting this day and time.
That's why Jack stood with President Trump to cut taxes for Alabama farmers, expand protections for hunting and game management, and ban lab-grown meat.
We just don't have enough testing on it to know what it would do to the general public.
Now Jack Williams is running for Ag Commissioner to back President Trump's plan to protect our farmland and support our farming families.
We're looking at bringing business to Alabama, helping them out to come here to help our farmers even. The more we can bring locally and have right here, the better we're going to be. I will be the first Ag Commissioner to be as hands-on as ever been.
Homegrown leadership. That's why Alabama farmers are backing Jack Williams for Agricultural Commissioner. Paid for by Jack Williams Campaign.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime, and as usual, it's already time to start getting ready for spring. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 14 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns.
What does it mean for a nation to be successful? I'm Stephanie Bryan, Tribal Chair and CEO of the Porch Creek Indians. We believe a successful nation gives back. As we've built economic opportunity and prosperity, the Porch Creek Indians have been able to give back to our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. More than $37 million since 2021 alone. From education and health care to tornado relief, learn more about our charitable giving at porchcreekindians.org.
For more than 50 years, the Tears family's been keeping the river region flowing with Roto-Rooter. From drain cleaning to septic repair and installation, no job's too big or too messy with a local team you can trust. So when water won't go where it's supposed to, call the hometown experts who've been serving Montgomery for over half a century. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and we go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Katherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Katherine Robertson for Attorney General.
This is Katherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit KatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
You're listening to radio. Great news. You're locked into our monthly rate of free forever.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
406, Jesse.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's agreed to a 10-day ceasefire in Lebanon. In a video statement, Netanyahu said he was taking the step in an attempt to advance peace efforts with Lebanon. Speaking with reporters outside the White House, President Trump shared the news and said those talks could wind up taking place in the White House itself. The head of the International Energy Agency says Europe has maybe 6 months of jet fuel left. IEA Executive Director Fatih Birol painting a sobering picture what the global repercussions of what he called the largest energy crisis we have ever faced, stemming from Iran's closure of the Strait of Hormuz. This week has seen a daily pounding of severe weather in the plains and Midwest, all the way from Texas to the Great Lakes. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow was up by 115 points and NASDAQ up 86. This is SRN News.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let them know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Back with David Blackman in a
Hi,
minute.
this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You're listening to radio. You know these clowns show up every day to entertain you for next to nothing? Because they love doing it.
I think that's why David Blackman's here.
Yeah,
and it's fun to have him on the radio with us twice a week. David Blackman, Pamela Dubuque, and yours truly. Let's go to the Middle East and get a state of the state on the situation there. You know, the last time I heard the word blockade in the news was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I hate to admit that I'm old enough to remember that, but I do. How is this working, and how is this entire theater playing out, in your opinion? You know, that one gas station, it's a retail place. It's people go there because it's real convenient. But they've dropped the price of gas 10 cents a gallon. It's still way too high. But how do you see all of this moving now? Is Trump's plan working? Let's start there and then talk about the blockade.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think the blockade has been incredibly successful. They've turned away 13 ships now as of about 9 o'clock this morning, our time. Then that's across a period of 2 days. You know, and I guess we should be clear, the Navy is not in the Strait of Hormuz, physically blocking ships from coming through the strait. The Navy, the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Group specifically, is in the Arabian Sea outside on the exit side of the Strait of Hormuz from the Persian Gulf. And they are tracking ships as they come through the strait. They, you know, that have their transponders on, they're able to track them. They can identify them, who the ship is, what port they came out of, and where they're headed. And if they came out of an Iranian port, you know, they're getting told to turn back and go back into the Persian Gulf and offload their cargo back at the port they came from. And if they can get a berth at a port that's not an Iranian port and fill up, well, then they can come through with safe passage. So it's been incredibly successful. Iran is obviously intimidated. Whatever the conversations were in those negotiations that, you know, supposedly fell apart last Saturday, has them pretty concerned, obviously, because they're sticking with the ceasefire, which is the first ceasefire I think Iran has ever honored in 47 years since the birth of the Islamic Republic. And President Trump this afternoon, right before we came on air, said that they've been having ongoing talks, you know, over the phone and whatever else other means, with Pakistan still playing the mediator. And he says Iran has now agreed to give up their nuclear program and turn over their enriched uranium dust. You know, sometimes the president says gets out over his skis on things like this.
Yes.
But if that's true, then it would obviously be an enormous concession, and one that would have to be attributed, at least in part, to this blockade, because it's cutting off 90% of the Iranian government's money. They can't continue to exist without this money. So And they obviously have no military solution to it, or they would have already tried it.
The market seems to be buying it because for a while there it was all over the place. Now the Dow is back close to 40, and I was up 115 today.
Yeah. And NASDAQ and S&P are both at record levels, record highs.
And this speaks to the strength of the U.S. economy, but let me throw this at you, because to me, the U.S. economy is very individual. It's personal. How is your economy in your house? Are you being hamstrung by the gas prices and the other things that have gone up somewhat? Not everything has, but some things have in the interim. So if all of this plays out in a perfect world, Iran agrees to all this, all the oil traffic starts moving and prices start coming down dramatically. You mentioned that they're not going to get back down to $2, but maybe below $3, whatever. Politically, this how can anybody argue that his plan did not work? That he has taken this worldwide lunatic nation and gotten them to behave?
Well, yeah, I mean, if it works out the way things are looking as of this moment, then they're going to have a very strong argument. But, they're still going to have to overcome the media echo chamber. 98% of the media is going to lie about it.
Yeah, they are.
And continue to lie about it because that's what they're in business to do. And the Democrats are going to lie about it because that's all they know how to do. And so whether that can help turn around the prospects for the midterm elections, I don't know. We're just 7 months out now. And the general rule of thumb has been once you get into June in a midterm election year, then the overall equation of how it's going to turn out is pretty much baked into the cake. So, there needs to be some real progress made by June 1st on the Republican side to turn the midterms around. And I just don't know if 6 weeks is enough time.
This is going to sound silly, but I would say they need to see all of this start working well before Memorial Weekend when people are traveling.
Yeah.
Notice that, because they'll notice, wow,
yeah,
gas prices have really come down. And it's not because we emptied our strategic petroleum reserve like Joe Biden did. Of course, nobody talked about that. Now, tell us about some of the consequences to this. We've had just such overwhelming support from our friends in NATO and Europe. But they're having some serious energy issues. You mentioned airline fuel is a problem for some.
Jet fuel for all of Europe. The International Energy Agency today estimated that, if flows from the Persian Gulf aren't restored by the end of this month, then Europe as a continent could run out of jet fuel reserves by the end of May. And that's a big deal because, jet fuel is a unique distillate, what they call distillate. It's a product that's derived from the refining process that is very specific. And you have to have specific grades of oil in order to create jet fuel. And the Middle East mid-grade of crude oil has been pretty instrumental in that process. Now, the United States gets it from other sources domestically, so we don't really have a problem. But in Europe, they've been importing all that from the Middle East to their refineries. And so there's no synthetic substitute. There's no crop-based substitute for it. And when you run out of it, you're out of it. And you can't just, put diesel in a jet and fly the jet or, regular gas. You just can't do it. So it's a potential real crisis for Europe. I mean, they have time to find some kind of a workaround, hopefully, but, that would just be an enormous problem for that economy.
Yeah, because they depend so much on tourism. And of course, the media will play it. Trump prevents millions from enjoying European vacations.
Right. Yeah.
You see the headline now. They're so freaking predictable. I understand there's also been some clogging, for lack of a better term, around the Panama Canal?
Well, that's kind of a result of all the increased tanker traffic coming to the United States refineries and filling up, and then increased exports going overseas. We've gone from exporting 3.5 million barrels in February to over 5 million as of last week in the United States. And that means dozens, if not hundreds, of additional crude tankers. And then also our LNG exports are way up. So that means dozens more LNG tankers, and they're all kind of colliding at the Panama Canal entrance, the east side of the Panama Canal, to get to Asian markets right now. And you have this big backup like you see on the freeway when there's an accident up ahead. You've got this backup that goes on for miles. So there's hundreds of tankers now lined up off the east entrance to the Panama Canal, awaiting approval to go through it. And if people understand how the Panama Canal functions, it's a slow process getting through that canal. You don't just sail through. There's all these locks that elevate you and, from step by step through that thing, and then take you back down into the Pacific Ocean. So, there's, it's a bottleneck. And, it's going to take some of those tankers weeks just to get through the canal.
Oh, I see. Kamala Harris is ripping the president for the gas prices after completely ignoring them when she was the vice president.
Did you see that video? Are you looking at that video she put out on social media today in front of the QT store? Well, she put out a video on her X account. She was in North Carolina, of all places, in front of a Quick Trip store, gas station, with $3.89 gas. And I couldn't help wondering why she flew on a gas guzzling, carbon spewing jet from California to North Carolina to film that 30-second video clip for her campaign, when the price in California is $2 higher than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to complain about high gas prices, why not just do it in front of a gas station in California? Because she's trying
Fox
to do
has
Gavin
it right
Newsom.
now.
Yeah, she's trying to do Gavin Newsom a favor and change the subject from California. So anyway, it's such a typical Democrat move. So dishonest, inherently dishonest people.
I want to find that clip.
Pathological.
I'm in the mood for some Kamala Harris. Anything that takes my mind off the Yankees' dismal performance today would be appreciated.
I posted about it. I'll send you a link to it here while we're talking.
Why are we not hearing more about what Tulsi Gabbard's been coming up with and the possible expungement of the Trump impeachment? Because it was all BS. Think the media will cover that?
No, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Not at all.
I mean, they're going to ignore it as much as they can. And apparently there's going to be a bunch more stuff coming out real soon. I just emailed you that I'll only send it to Greg. I don't have Pamela's email address handy.
Happy hour with Greg Budell at Gmail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I sent it. Okay. Anyway, I mean, this is proving that Eric Charamella, the whistleblower on the first impeachment, was a complete fraud. Suborned his perjured testimony to the committee, suborned by Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, who both belong in prison.
Yes.
And hopefully one day we'll end up there. And, she's doing the God's work, and the media, of course, refuses to report it.
It just, hey, I understand Australia's got some energy issues. What's happening there?
Well, 8 years ago, Australia had 8 refineries in their continent. But then they elected these liberal governments who decided to implement all these lunatic policies and shut down all the refineries. And now they only have 2 refineries still in operation, and one of them is burning up as we speak. Got set on fire yesterday. And they were already down to about 2 weeks supply of diesel fuel. Australia is one of the countries where most of their automobiles run on diesel, kind of like Italy. They run on diesel instead of gasoline. And then, of course, you have to have diesel to move all your products to market. And so they're down to about 2 weeks supply of diesel, and they have to import virtually all of it.
Wow.
And this is at a time when the crude oil market is undersupplied by somewhere between 7 and 9 million barrels a day. So they're going to have a hard time replacing those cargoes. And I think it's all being set up in Australia for another round of COVID-like lockdowns. And it's an intentional thing by the government.
I'd be training my kangaroos to fight.
Yeah, I would too, man. I wouldn't tolerate it again. I hope.
Hey, there's Kathy Hochul begging for taxpayers to come back.
I have that Kamala clip ready to share, by the way.
Can you put it on from your computer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do I need to do?
Watch it. Just watch it. I don't know how to do the sound from this side. That's the only problem. Yeah.
Good thing we're in the middle. Can you?
I'll send it to you.
Send it to me, and I'll pop it on. I got to hear this. It is 4:28.
So I think we can consider this video clip to be the first missive from her presidential campaign, because she's getting into that race.
I can't believe that she takes herself that seriously. And B, that America's gotten that stupid that they would actually even consider voting for her. She's an absolute joke, a drunken joke. And I think deep down there's a lot of people that will admit that Donald Trump knows what he's doing. And the audacity of this woman to suddenly complain about price. They were still higher under Joe Biden. And by the way...
And
by the
Fox
way,
ran
they
a
were
quote
higher.
that says it's the price of democracy.
Yeah, that's from a speech she made in 2022 when prices were about 50 cents higher than they are today.
All right, here is the clip. Share this tab. Look at how fast I am. You hear thunder on your radio. It's me moving at warp speed. Okay, spinning.
There she is.
Everyone, so I'm here in Charlotte since the start of Trump's war of choice.
Oh, she
it's
is
15
toasted.
more dollars every time you fill up your tank of gas. The price of diesel has now gone up 80% since the start of the war. And you best believe that's going to carry over to how much you're paying for all the goods that are being transported on those semis. We've got a president who is paying more attention to what he thinks is in his best political interest and personal interest, as opposed to what is in the best interest of working people in America.
See, that last part about
she was just
Trump
across
is
the
just
street
a
at the liquor
complete
store.
lie. This is totally not in his own political interests. You know,
No.
It could have just been like every other president since Jimmy Carter, and just kicked this Iran can down the road. And it would have been much better for his own personal political interest to do that.
Why are Trump and Giorgio Meloni suddenly at each other's throats? What happened there?
Well, Meloni, who has been a good friend of America, and it is really surprising to me, but she refused to let the United States planes, the bombers, use Italian air bases as a stopover point to refuel on the way to the Middle East. And that I don't understand what her reasoning was. It just shocked me to see that she had done that. I suspect she was intimidated by the people at the EU to take that action, and maybe some of her peers in France and the UK. So yeah, he's mad at her about that. I don't blame him. He should be. If you're going to be an ally, you need to be an ally. And if
That's
you're not
one
going to
thing.
be an ally, then you're not going to be an ally.
If you cross the man, he will call you out. And he's been right in every instance. I just didn't catch the fine print on that story. Dave, we're going to take one more break here, and then we'll do our final segment. We'll have David till about 4:45 this afternoon. Straight to the traffic dungeon, 1819 News, Rich's weather, and then back with David.
Traffic continues to build all around Montgomery interstates, boulevards, especially east-south boulevard. And we do have an accident on Taylor Road right near the Burger King across from Applebee's. That's at Cornerstone Drive, right past Vaughn. Up in Prattville, Highway 14, near Big Bass Bait and Tackle. They're trying to wrap up an accident there. Overall, in Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, we're looking pretty good this afternoon. Traffic definitely building all over the area. At McKenna Nissan, you can get a new 2026 Frontier from 1.9% for 60 months. See David for all the details. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with Lieutenant Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News.
The 6 Republican primary candidates running in the Alabama Senate race all took part in a forum held last night by the Republican Women of Madison. Candidates answered a series of questions about various issues, including their stance on the H-2A and H-2B visa programs, which allow for foreign nationals to be hired by U.S. employers. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall says that the H-2A visas are valuable for helping Alabama farmers, while the H-2B program is being exploited by big tech companies. Former U.S. Navy SEAL Jared Hudson says he wants to prioritize Alabama workers over either of those 2 visa programs. Congressman Barry Moore says he wants both programs to be well managed so that it actually contributes to American industry. Cattle farmer Rodney Walker called the visa programs broken, but he also admitted that there will always be a need for immigrant labor when it comes to agriculture. Cardiac surgeon Dale Deese Jr. said that both visa programs are necessary to fill the jobs that Americans are unwilling to do. And submarine commanding officer Seth Burton said the visa programs must be more clearly defined. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
Students and staff at Ramsey High School in Birmingham are mourning the loss of one of their seniors today. 18-year-old Layla Hicks died in a house fire along with her parents, Edward and Farentina. The fire broke out in the family's home on Wednesday morning. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web, or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites Battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large or medium pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix. On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Come and listen to a story about a millionaire, New York tycoon who hates the city's mayor. Thinks Mom Donnie's a socialistic nut, so he packed up his place and moved to Florida. Golf, that is, sunshine, no state tax. Next thing you know, New York is really poor. Millionaires don't live there anymore. But at least the rent's gonna be cheap when the rich people move and all the money leaves. Relocate, that is, Miami, the Villages. The Manhattan Millionaires.
Back with David Blackman and our continuing exploration of the Great American Idiocracy. David, did you see? Mr. Smiley Face is running around New York. He's all excited. He's moist because they're opening the first city-run grocery store.
Yeah.
It's going to cost $30 million to open this place, and it's not going to open till 2029, and he's trotting around like he just
That's crazy.
Came up with the best thing since sliced bread, which will probably be expensive there anyway.
And listen, if the government admits it's going to cost $30 million, that means it's going to cost $50 or $60 million, at least.
How do they keep getting away with this? This is the most frustrating thing of all. It really is. You know, our president, in addition to setting up this effective blockade and in the process of bringing about, I think confidence is growing. There's going to be an actual settlement here that will be observed by all parties. But this deal between Israel, Lebanon, and Hezbollah, tell us about that. Because he manages to get this done, and now he's touring the country, for, to whip up support for the midterms. How does the guy do it? I mean, Joe Biden never left the White House.
Yeah. So Israel's basically decimated Hezbollah, which is good. And Israel, the relations between Israel and Lebanon as a country have always been pretty fraught. And so there's just been constant conflict between the two countries and with Hezbollah in the middle of it all, funded by Iran. So, yeah, that's a major step. We'll see how serious the government of Lebanon really is. I'm sure they're tired of getting decimated by the Israeli military, and maybe their government's ready to do something in good faith. And Iran doesn't have any money to get to Hezbollah right now, and so as long as that remains the case, then Hezbollah is essentially defanged, and hopefully this is something that will last. In that part of the world, it's always a crapshoot, but it's worth a try. We should all hope that it's successful.
Well, here's a name that hasn't been in the news for a while, Nancy Guthrie. Has there been a situation that has been more botched by the local law enforcement. New Mexico again. Same people that held Alec Baldwin accountable for that shooting on the set of Rust.
No, it's in Arizona.
Accountable.
Oh.
Right.
My error. I apologize.
It's where Joe Arpaio used to be sheriff, yeah.
I had him on the show a long, long time ago. I think he passed away, right? He was...
I'm not sure if he has or not. Did he die? I don't remember that.
I'm looking it up.
This is about 10, 15 years ago. And of course,
but he's 93.
He's still around. I must have been listening to CNN and heard that he was dead. They've often done that to people. Killed him off.
Wow, he's only 5'7".
Yeah, he's not a big man. Yeah.
How is Tim Waltz still a free man? Or minus indictment? This guy is bulletproof?
I guess so. I'm sure he maintained layers of plausible deniability between himself and the fraudsters. But the Justice Department is still throwing people in jail out there in Minnesota for all that stuff, which of course is another part of what they're trying to shut down in California. They want to make it illegal for the federal government to conduct these fraud investigations too. It's just extraordinary, the kind of nonsense that goes on in California's government. It's amazing.
Meanwhile, and this is another reason why I want to pass this law, because another watchdog group has exposed taxpayer-funded breast implants for illegal immigrants.
Yeah, they also were doing that for them in the military.
Yeah. And in addition to sex change operations, yeah.
Yeah, which you can't get your insurance to cover typically, just for funsies, boob jobs.
No, that's standard practice for not just Democrats in the United States, but left-wing politicians throughout Europe and Canada too. They're throwing all this money and doing all these favors for the illegals because they want the illegals to come in and replace the native voter base. It's the great replacement theory that you're not supposed to talk about, but that's exactly what they've been doing.
We saw that video moment this week of the DoorDash woman who went to the White House, I guess, and thanked the president for no tax on tips, something like this. Now, 4 Democrat governors, and again, it makes you wonder why people would consider voting for them at all, have decided to defy the president by taxing tips and overtime that their residents earn. So in other words, the government, you won't have to pay them, but your own state, they're going to be looking for money. And I wonder if that's going to wake people up. There's just no end to it, the insanity. David, time prohibits us from getting talking about baseball today. It's just not a good day for
just
it.
as well. I don't know what the Yankees did this afternoon, but I don't want to get you mad anyway.
They lost 11-4 to the freaking Angels, who are expected to be like one of the worst teams in the league at home in Yankee Stadium, despite an Aaron Judge home run with their best pitcher, Max Fried, out there.
Was Christopher Lloyd at the game?
Overpaid knuckleheads. Christopher Lloyd?
Wasn't he in Angels in the Outfield?
Oh, Angels in the Outfield, the movie.
Okay.
It may have been. That was cute. No, and the Dodgers, what are they, 14-4? They're going to win 130 games.
They're on a pace to win 136, I think. So,
well, David, you will be joining us on Monday, correct?
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely.
We so appreciate it. Great topics, great information today. Great analysis, especially on the oil and gas, because you're the guy. I mean, the source for that. We're so grateful for the time, and we'll look forward to talking to you on Monday. And have a great weekend, my friend.
Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
He is the bomb. All right, it is 4:46. In a moment, we're going to bring in a couple of guests to talk about an event taking place here in town. Let me get Skipper in for a quick traffic, and then we'll introduce our guests. Skipper?
Traffic continues to build all around Montgomery interstates, boulevards, and especially east-south boulevard. And we do have an accident on Taylor Road right near the Burger King across from Applebee's. That's at Cornerstone Drive right past Vaughn. Up in Prattville, Highway 14 near Big Bass Bait and Tackle. They're trying to wrap up an accident there. Overall, in Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, we're looking pretty good this afternoon. Traffic definitely building all over the area. At McKenna Nissan, you can get a new 2026 Frontier from 1.9% for 60 months. See David for all the details. It's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I'm Stephanie Bryan, chairwoman of the Porch Creek Indians. Tourism and hospitality are more than industries to the Porch Creek Indians. Providing a warm welcome is part of our heritage. It's central to who we are. From Atmore to Aruba, we've created more than 20 unique travel and tourism destinations, providing unforgettable guest experiences and life-changing career opportunities for our tribe and our neighbors in Alabama and beyond. Learn more at porchcreekindians.org.
Feeling the pinch on your food budget? You're not alone, but saving is easy every day at Food Outlet, Montgomery, Prattville, and Millbrook. And remember, Food Outlet is priced at cost, plus just 10%. Listen to these specials good through April 21st. Get a 5-pound bag of chicken wings for only $8.95. Lean and meaty center-cut pork chops, $2.28 a pound. The 4-pound box of Harvest Select catfish fillets, $17.50 each. Delicious 16-ounce Hungry Man dinners, only $2.79. USDA country-style pork ribs, $2.18 a pound. 12-pack cans of Coke products, only $5.99. And stay hydrated with Dasani water, the 24-pack, $3.60. Food Outlet is locally owned. When you shop here, more of your money stays right here in our community. Open 7 days a week, 7 till 9. Millbrook store open till 10 on Fridays and Saturdays. Check us out on Facebook for more great specials. Food Outlet in Eastbrook Shopping Center, Montgomery. Prattville at 720 East Main. And in Millbrook at 3543 Highway 14. Shop Food Outlet and pay cost plus 10%.
This is the News Talk 93.1 River Region Business Spotlight, a chance for you to get to know our area businesses and business leaders.
It is great to have friends in the studio with us this afternoon. We go back a long way in our relationship with CBS 8, and we have the general manager, Jeff Inman, and Esty Morrison, anchor and reporter, to talk about the River Region Health Expo. Did I get all of that right? A lot of chaos here this afternoon, and I apologize, but great to have you both with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yes, we are excited to be here. Usually I'm the one asking the questions, so this is a little bit of you flip the tables here.
Well, this show benefits from the prestige of having an actual anchor person in the studio, even though her name is News Talk. So,
well, I want to come back here more often. You can just sweet talking over there.
I'll let you take the lead on this, Esty, and tell us when the event is, what's happening, and why people will want to attend.
Well, Greg, if you're anything like me, we're all getting older, and sometimes you'll wake up and you've got like a crick in your neck or, something like that. And you're like, oh, I wonder what that is. Do I need to have more vitamins? What's going on with my body? And this is really one-stop shopping. This is the River Region Healthy Living Expo. This is the 11th year that we have done this. And the reason that we keep doing it is because it is such a great event. And you can find out the information that you need to get from all kinds of different health and wellness experts. We've got more than 40 different businesses and organizations. And you can just walk around and ask them things and get you can get some swag too. You have a little bag and you can fill it up with all the little goodies, cups and just really, it's a lot of fun. But it's a lot of information that you can't always get into your doctor. You can't always, sometimes it takes weeks or months. And this is someplace that you could come and just ask, what do I need to do about this? And you've got all of these experts in one place. So to me, this is, a lot of bang for your buck here.
It's going to be 2 weeks from today.
It is. It's on April 30th, and it's from 10 to 2 at the shops at East Chase, right by the fountain. So easy to find. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be there all day doing live shots and running around asking questions because, I just love it. We've always had a great time, and it's just very beneficial.
I should stop by because at the end of the morning show, I generally look unhealthy, and I would make a perfect candidate for somebody to attend this event.
Absolutely. We would love for you to come.
Jeff Inman, General Manager, Vice President at WAKA Channel 8. Tell us about some of the vendors who are going to be participating in this.
Yeah, it is a full list from honestly one section, one category to another. A lot of them based on really preventative. I think our society today we're very focused on corrective, but we have a lot that are focused on preventative and ways to eat healthy each and every day. What supplements you should be taking, what vitamins you should be taking, different health screenings that you should be having. There's a lot of questions that we know to ask, and there's a lot that we don't know to ask. So this is kind of that safe space to where you can go and see some health experts for questions that you may not know the right questions to ask, and that can be incredibly beneficial for from anywhere from parents who have young kids to those of us who are aging a little bit, and our lives are changing.
Yeah, I renewed my driver's license last September, and that's when I learned I was getting older. I was shocked. I was really shocked.
Yeah, those pictures can be a little startling sometimes when you're, used to the face that you think that should still be in the mirror, right?
That's not me.
I'm talking about me. I wasn't referring to you.
I mean, there's something in the lens of those cameras or something. But I will say this: I think you have to do a new picture every 7 years, and boy, the difference from the picture 7 years ago to the one they took last September was stark. But really, it is all about living a better and healthier lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with getting help for staying healthy when it's available. So this is something people can have. It's going to be at East Chase, correct?
The shop's at East Chase, right in the middle by the fountain. So you're not going to be able to miss it.
Okay.
And it's from 10 until 2. So plenty of time to just walk around. I mean, even if you just are on your lunch break and you just want to stop in and say, okay, let's see what this is about. And businesses still have time to become a vendor. If you're in the health and wellness industry and you think, well, that might be a great place for me to be able to talk to people and get people, have a business that supports in that way. That registration is still open through April 23rd. So next Thursday.
My co-host Pamela helps people look younger.
Oh, well, you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a med spa in Prattville. We're moving to Holtville, but we're in Prattville right now.
Oh,
wonderful.
Yeah. Perfect vendor for something like this.
Well, there's so many, high tech has really become a valuable asset. I've done a number of different treatments with her that are very successful in just erasing in a natural way. I mean, basically what you do is you have technologies that help the body take care of its own business. It's not artificial or anything like that. Who are some of the local entities sponsoring the fair?
We have the City of Montgomery as one of our sponsors, as well as Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, Baptist Health, Mobility Plus, Trenum College, and the Wellness Coalition. So those are the big guys that are helping us put this on, and we are very grateful to them because they value this as much as we do.
It's 2 weeks from today at the shops at East Chase by the fountain.
10
a.m. to 2 p.m. And they can still accept vendor additions through April 23rd.
And it's a free event.
Oh,
that's the best part of all.
We buried the lead.
That's right. It's a free event.
Wander around and find something to help you lead a healthier life. Absolutely free. I would like to invite both of you to stop by our morning show.
Oh.
And pay us a visit. See Babyface Thomas and talk to our morning.
I would love to.
We'd love to.
Both of the shows are on YouTube now, so we'll have that going. Did I miss anything that you wanted to add to the conversation?
I think you covered everything.
I once worked in TV.
Well, I can tell. I mean, you are the pro, so we're in good hands here.
It'll be the fun event, and you guys will be there actually doing a live remote that day. So it's a fun event for all different ages to stop by.
We have always enjoyed partnering with CBSA on a whole number of different ventures. You guys are great. You're very community, nice people. I've gotten to know quite a bit of the staff over the years, and I've always loved. You hire the right caliber of human being there. They got the talent, but they're really good people, and I stay in contact with a good number of them. Yeah. So we're happy to be part of what you're doing and happy to promote it. And I really do hope you'll accept the invitation to come by in the morning.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I would
I'm
love to.
going to get out my calendar and we're going to nail down a date.
Any date is fine. You let us know what works for you, and we will make it work. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Greg. That's awesome.
Greg,
It's our
thank you.
pleasure. All right. Thanks again to Jeff Inman and Esty Morrison. And it's all about the River Region Healthy Living Expo 2 weeks from today, 10 to 2 at the shops at East Chase. We're going to check in with Skipper at 457 Wall Street Business to follow Salem Radio Network News. I sound like I'm reading a menu. Well, in a way, I am. And then Grant McDonald joins us to talk about your money.
We had an accident earlier on Taylor Road near Cornerstone. That's near the Burger King across from Applebee's, just down from Vaughn. Hoping that one has wrapped up, but use caution just in case. Very busy building traffic now. East South Boulevard, West Boulevard at I-85, Northern Boulevard light to moderate. I-65 and 85 looking good. Good traffic flow, but getting busy. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to mostly moderate traffic. Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. Some big changes may be on the way for two iconic pizza chains.
Pizza Hut and Papa John's are reportedly negotiating their sale to new owners in separate deals. The news has raised concerns among analysts, investors, and consumers, as these are brands with decades of global presence that are now facing a combination of lower demand, higher cost, and strong competition.
That's Bill Alexander reporting. Revenues at PepsiCo jumped 8.5% to $19.44 billion January through March. It's proof the company's decision to cut prices is paying off. PepsiCo began trimming prices on its value brands last spring, an effort to win back customers exasperated by years of price increases. Investors shook off their jitters about a fragile ceasefire with Iran and buoyed stock prices today. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow was up 115, the Nasdaq up 86. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bikes battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
You're listening to radio. We'll never interrupt your enjoyment to inquire if you'll accept our cookies.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
At 5 o'clock, Jesse Lynn, what's next?
With us current news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Israel has agreed to a 10-day ceasefire in Lebanon. The truce announced Thursday could pause fighting with the Hezbollah militant group and boost attempts to extend the ceasefire between Iran, the United States, and Israel after weeks of devastating war. The U.S. military has widened its efforts beyond the blockade of Iran's ports. It's allowing its forces around the world to stop any ship tied to Tehran or those suspected of carrying supplies that would help its government. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said Thursday that the U.S. would be targeting vessels in other areas like the Pacific that had left before the blockade began earlier this week. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 115 points, the Nasdaq rose 86, the S&P advanced 18. This is SRN News.
In his new movie, The Dragon's Prophecy, Dinesh D'Souza brings the new Middle East into focus with a message of perseverance, faith, and a shared global destiny.
Could the fate of the world, of humanity itself, be somehow tied to this place?
At long last, we have peace in the Middle East. Israel and Christians are coming together in a way they have never been before, since the book of Acts.
But is this the end of Hamas and radical Islam? What does the Bible say?
We have to become fighters in the spirit for God. We don't accept what the enemy wants to do with our culture. We don't accept what he wants to do with the nation. If we keep fighting, we win.
Powerful, prophetic, a must-see movie based on Jonathan Cahn's international bestseller. The Dragon's Prophecy combines history and scripture with faith, justice, and renewal. The Dragon's Prophecy, a new film by Dinesh D'Souza. Now available on Amazon, YouTube, and iTunes.
Something we hope you'll really like.
Mr. President, your wife called. She's busy in New York. She won't be coming home this weekend.
Thanks, Betty. Okay, fellas, it's party time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the limo. Come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The wife's out of town, so I think I really want to call some names from my little black book. Guaranteed to make this party cook. We'll call Angela and Pamela and Buffy and Vicky, and before you know it, everything will be freaky. We're going to throw it down, then we're going to pick it up. These girls are cute as a little speckled pup. I know I said that I learned my lesson, but I just can't keep from messing. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita, if you please, a little bit of Tina, she's a sleaze, a little bit of Sandra, she's so funky, a little bit of Mary, she's kind of chunky, a little bit of Jessica's what I see, a little bit a break from Hillary.
Mr. President, the girls from Hooters are here, sir.
All right, send them right in. Hey, girls, come on in. Y'all are looking good. Hey, those chicken wings? Yeah, I put them on the conference table right over there. Hey, y'all want to see the war room? Jump up and down and move it all around. Put your hands in the air, throw your clothes on the ground, then climb on board and we'll have fun. Want to take a ride on Air Force One? We'll fly so high we'll touch the sky, and if we get caught, we'll lie. A little bit of Sandy on my lap. A little bit of Tiffany, she likes rap. A little bit of Rita, if you please. A little bit of Tina, she's a sleaze. A little bit of Sandra on the fly. A little bit of Mary on the sly. A little bit of Jessica raising Cain. A little break from that old ball and chain.
Mr. President, the diplomatic pouch from Jamaica just arrived, sir.
All right, look that baby up. Hey, want to see me inhale? Here we go. Smooth. A little bit of Monica in the house, a little bit of something on her blouse. A little bit of Rita, she's a go. A little bit of Tina, she's a hoe. A little bit of Sandra on the desk. A little bit of Mary, she's the best. A little bit of Jessica in my life. A great big secret from my wife. Hey, girls, me and you, I can get y'all a job at Revlon too. You know me, I love the freak. See you, babe, same time next week. All right, here.
Mr. President, Mrs. Clinton just called. She will be arriving after all.
No. Okay, everybody. Crisis mode, crisis mode. Straight this place up. Hey, honey, welcome home.
And we all need a good laugh in the middle of all this news and everything else. And I needed to take a bit of a breather. I was here surrounded by great people. Had David Blackman joining us from Texas, of course, Pamela Dubuque, my co-host. And then we had Jeff Inman, the general manager from CBS 8 WAKA, and Esty Morrison, who was amazing. And I had all these beautiful people, and we're having a good time, and now I'm all alone. I feel like Macaulay Culkin on Medicare. It just, everybody went away. Now what will I do? 8 minutes after 5 o'clock. By the way, in case you missed it, the River Region Healthy Living Expo will be 2 weeks from today, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the shops at East Chase near the fountain with 40-plus vendors. And there's room for more. And if you want information, you can either message me or I'll get you some additional contact information. I want to put this on social media. Free admission, by the way, for this event. And we love the word free. Actually, today has been there's insane stuff happening, yes. But on the whole, today was a pretty good news day. Always hold your breath when it comes to the Middle East, but things seem to be playing out well there. And it could be that the plan the president's put into effect is going to work. That would be nice. Gas prices coming down. And then what? The great American Les Miserables will find something to whine about at all times. And we covered a ton of stuff. By the way, the economy is strong. The S&P 500 NASDAQ hit all-time highs despite the oil prices. And it was worth remembering. Remember back in August of 2008? We were paying $4.25 a gallon. And there were runs on gas stations at that time because the worry was supply. Now, prices are higher right now, but supply is not an issue. So I ask you, as Marissa Tomei said to my cousin Vinny, let me ask an expert here. What would $4.25 in 2008 be worth in 2026?
I found this on the web.
All right. It would be, holy cow. If gas prices were as high as they were in 2008, it'd be $6.52 today. Now, it is that high in California, but that's a whole separate issue. But we were paying that. And as always, and in prior situations, the worry was, will there be enough? Did anybody live through the insanity of previous shortages? The one in and I'm driving a Corvette, which is a very fuel-efficient car. And I had to drive 32 miles each way from Fort Lauderdale to South Beach to do my radio show. But you could only buy gas on an odd or an even number day, depending on the last digit or letter on your license plate. And we all lived in fear that we would be the one at the gas station buying gas on a day that didn't belong to us. And we would go to prison for violating that law. At least that's not part of this situation. So we'll see what happens. It's a very day-to-day thing. But yeah, the economy is strong no matter what the politicians say. It's 11 minutes after 5 o'clock. Coming up next, we have Rich's weather And then Brett McDonald to tell us more about these new highs the market is hitting.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Catherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Catherine Robertson for attorney general.
This is Catherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit CatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate for your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
What a bunch of crap. Well, we just have to do that every hour. It's 5:15 on News Talk 93.1 FM. Time to talk to the man we call Mr. Right on the Mo. Brett McDonald from Invista Advisors. I hope.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm so glad. You're so reliable and dependable, which makes you one reason why you're a great financial planner. But Pamela has to leave at 5 on Thursday, so I'm kind of going with the odds. But glad you could join us.
Yeah.
And we had David Blackman on with us for about an hour and a half today, talking about all the activity, now a ceasefire. Is the cement drying around all the turmoil in the Middle East? Is the economy strong? I see NASDAQ had a record high today, right?
Yeah, yesterday we talked about this as well. It's been like a slow sort of grind back up again, a grind higher for the market. You look at the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, we're now back at all-time highs. It was sort of stealthy how it happened, but just these small incremental moves over the last week and a half or so. And as far as the market's concerned, it's as if nothing ever happened. I think it's also a little bit of a vote of confidence that this thing is going to get resolved, and that we're heading in the right direction. It sure does appear that way.
Yes.
I also think it was a little bit of a sigh of relief that we were able to get through the CPI number on Friday and the PPI number on Tuesday, with an expectation that, yes, it was going to be higher because of fuel prices. But the real concern was what's happening with core, and the core rate was fairly muted. It was, it was very well, it was under control. So I think that was welcome news for sure. So anyway, I think the Treasury market is beginning to settle down just a touch. That's also good news. I will say, and we can talk about this on some other shows, but. And I've mentioned this before, the sheer level of U.S. debt is pretty alarming. I have to say, it really is. And, the pace at which we're adding $1 trillion in new debt now, almost at a pace of almost every 5 months, is it's alarming. I have to say, it's alarming. And, what we need to do now is we've got to get this war behind us. And we've got to get, this economy really humming. And I think that's the way we get out of this debt mess, is to try to outgrow it. But with that does come, higher real rates of return, and that could keep inflation sticky. But the key point, I think, around the inflation is why we keep harping on this, is that there are two headwinds, I think, that are going to help us a little bit on the headline numbers and the core numbers. One is the deflationary trend that AI is bringing to the U.S. economy. And two, as I've said, would be the year-over-year lap of Trump putting on the tariffs. And so I think that could help us. And I'm super excited to try to see. I'm highly, sort of anticipating that we're going to be right on this, that we're going to see a little bit of a trend lower over the summer months as a result of what I'm talking about. We'll see. In the meantime, Greg, we've got earnings that are in full swing. We talked yesterday about Netflix, and they did report this afternoon. The number was good. It actually beat expectations. However, they did guide their guidance for future quarters and the rest of the year was substantially lower than where Wall Street had their numbers, and as a result, the stock, at last I looked, it was down about 9% in after-hours trading. So, that stock getting hit pretty hard on really bad guidance. So we'll see. But tomorrow is a big day, too, because we get a whole host of regional bank earnings. One of the ones locally that everyone identifies with is Regions Bank. Then you get, there's like Fifth Third. There's a bunch of these. And the regional banks are important because that's a lot of small business lending. That's a lot of consumer lending. And we'll get to kind of hear from them as to what their end markets look like in terms of consumer and small business behavior. And so I'm looking forward to those earnings as well. And then next week it picks up. I mean, the pace really picks up. We kick things off on Monday with Tesla, which is a really big one, obviously, and then a whole host of tech companies all throughout the week. And so we'll be right here with you to report on all of that.
I saw, was it an unemployment claims number that came in below expectations today? Was that this morning?
Yeah. What you saw is the weekly jobless claims numbers. Those come out every Thursday, and so it's a week to week data point. I would say it's not an individual data point that's really market moving. It's more it's sort of like you're charting these numbers on a graph, and it comes in week by week by week, and so you look for trends there. And but so it was nice to see the jobless claims numbers ebbed a little lower, and so yeah, that's good.
All right, Brant, any big numbers due out tomorrow?
It's all about earnings, and it's bank earnings, as I said, the regional banks. That's going to be a really big, that's what Wall Street's going to be sort of hyper-focused on, because, again, there are about 6 or so very large regional banks around the country that are all reporting on the same day. And so it'll be a great opportunity to kind of look for trends, look for trends in the commentary from what the management teams have to say, but also looking at things like loan loss provisions and net interest income. Loan loss provisions is really the kind of the big one that I'll be looking for, because, again, when you get a bunch of them reporting on the same day, you can kind of look for what is happening with all the banks at the same time. Where's the sort of that common thread? And that gives you some insights into small business behavior and consumer behavior.
Sure appreciate your time this afternoon. Any big news in the morning, we're here for you.
You got it, buddy. Y'all have a great night.
All right, best of the family. Have a great weekend if we don't speak tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right, off to the traffic stuff.
Really beginning to get busy all over the Montgomery area, especially east-south Boulevard, West Boulevard and I-85, light to mostly moderate building traffic. Northern Boulevard beginning to build as well. I-65 and 85 looking good. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka not really reporting any issues. We did have an accident earlier, Taylor Road near the Burger King, just down from Vaughn Road. Hoping that one has cleared. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. Thompson Tractor will have deep discounts on used equipment April 23rd at 11:30 a.m. Skid steers, excavators, dozers, aerial lifts, and more. Thompson Tractor on I-85 just past Chantilly Parkway on Highway 80. Buckle up with the Jim Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I forgot to play something.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
I haven't been the same since I found out the Yankees lost today. It's not funny. Here's a headline. I will show this to you on our YouTube feed. Disgraced former Democrat mayor and Pride leader arrested again in Texas on new child sex crime charges. 3 more victims step forward after initial grooming scandal. Again, I am curious as to how people like this end up in public office. Look what we've seen coming out of Congress between Gonzalez, the Republican, and Swalwell, who really needs to go to prison. He really needs to spend some time in jail. But they're hardly alone. The political universe is filled with perverts. I know that sounds so old school, but it's true. The former Democratic mayor of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That's where Eisenhower lived. And president of LGBTQPride.org has been arrested again on additional sex crime charges, this time in Texas after he left Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're like this guy, geographical cures don't work. Because the problem is when you take your issue to Texas, it goes with you. All right, we need a laugh. We've got some, and by the way, time for a request or a phone call to 272-9228 here in the 334.
New from DoorDash Silver, your food order delivered by someone's grandparent. Every delivery includes a butterscotch candy and a complimentary anecdote about how back in their day, pizza cost a nickel. Track your order as Doris misses your street twice, drives 10 miles with her blinker on, only stopping to yell at some kids to get out of the street. With DoorDash Silver, sure, she might forget half your order, but tip her anyway. After all, Mima is on a fixed income. DoorDash Silver, because Social Security isn't quite enough.
You can't control interest rates. You can't control housing inventory. And you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're in outside sales and feel your income is capped, it might be time for a change. At Blue Water, top performers build strong books of business and create real income by helping local companies grow through radio and digital marketing, including social, streaming, and targeted campaigns. You'll prospect new business, manage your own accounts, and control your earning potential in a performance-driven environment. We're looking for motivated, experienced sales professionals who are ready to be rewarded for what they produce. If that sounds like you, send me your resume today at bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
Happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong.
Democrats moved down to Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona, and PA looking for votes to steal. With Biden and the Biden being way behind with the devil, they made a deal. And when they came across this great man winning the election by a lot, he said 47 years, it's very clear, Joe, you ain't done diddly squat. Joe put on a lid, then went in hid and kept his gap trap shut. He never jumped up on a campaign stump. Boy, let me tell you what. Dems didn't care. They made a dare, an evil plan to screw once again our president and attempted another coup. Joe said, Donald Trump, you think you're good, but give old Joe his due. I'll bet Chinese gold against a country so that I get more votes than you. Trump said, I'm the president and you ain't playing straight. And I'll take your bet you're gonna regret. I'm gonna make America great again. Donnie, rally up your base, your lawyers and bodyguards. Cause hell's broke loose with the voting. Maybe it's hammer, maybe scorecard. If you win, you'll get to send to jail, quid pro Joe, so you can lose or socialists take control. Biden opened up his mouth and said, I'll start this show, and babble flew from his lips. He said, come on, man, you gotta go. He pulled his mask up on his face and continued to persist unintelligible gibberish. And it sounded something like this.
Sure, that's something the president for people that bad except Sleepy Joe.
I'm not going to be real. I got something to do. I got to go do.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Sure, that's something depression. Sleepy Joe.
Tell them.
When old Joe finished, Trump said, well, you're pretty bad, old son. Sit down there in your rocking chair and I'll prove what's being done. Trump's ahead everywhere. And millions of votes magically appear. Each one wins a previous Joe. By a lot. Coincidence? Oh, hell no. Joe Biden bowed his head. Oh, wait, it looks like he fell asleep. As Team Trump laid those stolen ballots on the ground at Biden's feet. Trump said, Sleepy Joe, you're never going to run again. 'Cause I told you once, actually for months, I'm the best president that's ever been. President's way ahead when I went to bed. And the so-called glitch at 3 a.m.
Georgia's new voting machines discovered a glitch.
Everything's vote for Joe. Oh, Harris, no help.
Remember the good old days? I'll never forget election night 2020. It looked like Donald Trump was going to get reelected. The battleground states were the last to come in. And it was around 10:30. Maybe it was Fox. I forget what I was watching. When the announcement came that, we have to stop counting in Georgia because the toilets are clogged. And I knew when I heard that was Beazle Schmeazit. We should have driven to Georgia, ripped the pipes out, blown them clean so they could continue counting. But it was just the big cheat. So they stole the election. I don't recall hearing the hysteria over $3.50 gas when Joe was president, and that was just because of inflation and incompetence. That's another question I should ask an expert. What would $3.50 in 2023 be worth today?
I found this on the web.
All right. Why can't you just give me an answer instead of the whole? All right, it'd be $3.79. And they're a little over that. But the media wasn't pounding it and making a big fuss because Joe. He knows what he's doing. You know, I've had this kind of I wouldn't say love-hate. Love, disappointment, opinion of Lauren Boebert. By the way, today is National Librarian Day, and if anybody in Congress kind of has that bookish look or that lookish book, it's her. She's done a couple of deep end things lately, so I don't trust her like I used to. But she was talking about sexual misconduct allegations on Capitol Hill with the question, why is everybody so horny here? And she says people need to go to church. I got to admit, I love that because it's true. There is, and not all of it's, let's put it this way. I don't think Washington's going to be remembered as the place where missionary position lovemaking had its last stand. There's probably very little of that. But yeah, the horns are out. And I think it has to do with power. Because I'm trying to put this in a family-friendly way. Power opens doors. How do you think some of these hideous... What woman that you know who's a good woman, a good-looking person, good character... Do you know anybody that fits that description who would look at somebody like Eric Swallowell and say, hey, there's a hunk? He looks like an extra from The Sopranos. Not even good enough to have a speaking role. Just he would just be in the room with the rest of the thugs. But I love that. I want to play that one more time. Lauren Boebert from Colorado. I like that. That's spunk. That makes her actually kind of hot. But we're not going there because we're here to put an end to horniness, not advance it. That didn't come out quite the way I'd hoped, but I think just 37.
We have a new accident, Chantilly Parkway, right before I-85. It's near the railroad tracks as you're headed up to 85. And if you're headed on over to Troy Highway, going to be in your lane there. It is off on the right. Just watch out for those folks there. Very busy traffic everywhere else, especially 85 northbound Bell to Taylor to Chantilly. 65 northbound loaded up. Boulevards are busy. A lot of cars on the roads out there this afternoon. Traffic flow is good for the most part. We will keep you updated. High school students, Trenton State Community College dual enrollment program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up with the J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police have arrested a juvenile in connection with a double shooting that left one person dead and another in critical condition. The shooting happened April 6 just off Zelda Road in the 200 block of Gatsby Drive, where an adult male and a juvenile were wounded by gunfire. 18-year-old Vincent Grider later died of his injuries. No update has been given on the younger victim's condition. A Montgomery man is under arrest for allegedly shooting a friend at a weekend barbecue. 49-year-old Anthony Brown is charged with first-degree assault and illegal possession of a handgun. The victim of the shooting was holding the barbecue for Brown. Both were drinking heavily when an argument broke out and Brown shot the victim in the chest. Main Street Montgomery announced on Wednesday Ashley Jernigan will be its first ever executive director. As founder and director of JBD Hospitality, Jernigan has more than 15 years of experience in downtown revitalization and economic development. Ashley Jernigan will lead Main Street Montgomery's efforts to strengthen and promote the downtown district. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
President Trump told us it takes homegrown food to make America healthy again.
Farmers are an indispensable national asset, part of the backbone of America.
And fourth-generation farmer Jack Williams agrees.
People want stuff grown here. They want to know what they're getting this day and time.
That's why Jack stood with President Trump to cut taxes for Alabama farmers, expand protections for hunting and game management, and ban lab-grown meat.
We just don't have enough testing on it to know what it would do to the general public.
Now Jack Williams is running for Ag Commissioner to back President Trump's plan to protect our farmland and support our farming families.
We're looking at bringing business to Alabama, helping them out to come here to help our farmers even. The more we can bring locally and have right here, the better we're going to be. I will be the first Ag Commissioner to be as hands-on as ever been.
Homegrown leadership. That's why Alabama farmers are backing Jack Williams for Agricultural Commissioner. Paid for by Jack Williams Campaign.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door & Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy-efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25. Davis Door & Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door & Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We are still high and dry. Today was day number 11 with no rain and about 7 days straight on 80-degree temperatures. Tonight will be partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 60. Tomorrow's high temperature on Friday up to around 90. That would tie a record. So mostly sunny again tomorrow and Saturday, with Saturday's high up to about 89. Then the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday morning as a cold front sweeps through the state. Significantly cooler temperatures on Sunday with a high around 73. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Did you hear about the librarian who asked if someone needed help finding a book? And they said, no thanks, I'll just wait for the movie. Shh. I saw a teenager open a book. Turns out they were just looking for the charging outlet behind it. Shh. Did you hear about the librarian who tried to explain the Dewey Decimal System? And the kid said, is that like a playlist?
If you're going to take a librarian to lunch today, you better hurry because they close in about 60 minutes. News Talk 93.1 FM. I apologize. Twitter, my one beef with Twitter. Hey, remember when everybody said when Elon bought it, it was going to go out of business? It's worth about 3 times or more what he paid for it now. Because they're just so filled with hate. If you don't agree with them, they want you dead. They want your business over. They want you dead. And Lauren Boebert in that quote asked, why is everybody so horny here? I think I gave a good answer. Power. What else could have compelled Eric Swalwell to think that he could get away with what he did? So now there's a senator, we don't have a name, but Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who's pretty hot herself, warned Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the useless Republican from South Dakota, that he needs to, quote, look into, end quote, allegations against one of his senators, adding that the allegations are very disturbing. Last week, Paulina Luna led the charge against Swalwell and the despicable Republican, at least we own our own, Tony Gonzalez of Texas, who are both facing shocking allegations of sexual misconduct. Not shocking. I remember we were so naive. We thought everybody in D.C. got there because they were moral, principled people. And then Wayne Hayes came along and shocked America with a late night cavorting with some chick in the Washington basin. Still not sure what happened there. And there have been others. In fact, for a while, they had a thing called Scandal Tour in D.C. where you could, I think it was like $40 for a ticket on a very nice first-class bus. And it would take you to every location where scandals had occurred in D.C. I remember it took us to this condominium near the Potomac River that was owned by former Senator Gary Hart. He was almost a shoo-in for the Democratic nomination, was it 80, 84? And then somebody named Donna Rice, after she got into his pants, she came out with a brand of her own, Donna Rice jeans. She was way ahead of Sydney Sweeney. Anyway, both of those clowns are facing allegations of sexual misconduct. Both resigned. Says it seems like the Senate has its own trash to take out, Leader John Thune. You need to look into allegations against one of your senators. It's very disturbing. My chief will be contacting your chief. Her post has extra heft given that she suggested that Swalwell would be facing serious accusations before they were made public this week. Polina shared a post on April 6th saying that former employees were soon rumored to accuse Swalwell. She captioned the post by saying, if this is true, it's horrifying. He should also be added to the freaks and weirdos currently in Congress. And, well, Lauren Boebert said, well, why is everybody so horny here? I said earlier in the show, D.C. is a deviant magnet. It's just loaded with people who have special interests. Let me scroll a little bit further down. I'm about to conference all call to explain members on both sides. It's illegal to sexually harass staff and interns. Y'all need to pull your, she used an S-bomb, your stuff together. Stop molesting the staff, freaks. Well, good. I'm glad somebody's speaking out. In the meantime, she should also be asking them why, if 80% of the American public is in favor of voter ID, can't you get it passed? That's so disappointing. We really don't ask for much. I mean, there's a percentage of the population that expects everything for free. That's always going to be the case. But we ask very little. If you're going to tax us, please spend our money wisely. Okay? And that doesn't mean give hundreds of millions of dollars to luring centers in Minnesota. And try and behave. Try and keep your pants zipped up. And comport yourself in a professional fashion. And that just seems to be totally beyond their capabilities. Let's see what else is on Citizen Free Press. Tulsi Gabbard breaks silence on criminal referrals sent to DOJ on Trump impeachment. This is important. It will get virtually no coverage in the legacy media because they don't want to know about what actually happened back on January 6th. Oh, we have some audio here. I will listen to Tulsi anytime. So let's give her a minute. What happened? 100% right. We've been talking about it for years. Obama, Clapper, Comey, they were all in on it. They put the country through an impeachment. Everybody should be upset about that. But will anything happen? We can only hope. This will be our final traffic update for the afternoon. Skipper, thanks for the help.
We have a new accident, I-65 northbound on the bridges right before Cobbs Ford Road. Got several vehicles off on the right side of the roadway. One lane traffic, left lane. Please watch out for emergency vehicles that are going to be responding there, but that's got things slowed down. 65 northbound into Prattville. Around Montgomery, light to mostly moderate traffic. We're busy in Montgomery, also Millbrook and Wetumpka, but no other issues that we're aware of. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. Haynes Ambulance is there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Alabama's law enforcement leaders put their lives on the line every single day. They need an attorney general who has their back. Katherine Robertson has spent a decade on the front lines of Alabama's toughest battles. She doesn't bend, she doesn't back down, and she doesn't play politics. As attorney general, she'll make sure violent offenders are locked up and stay locked up. That's why sheriffs and police chiefs from every corner of this state are proudly standing behind Katherine Robertson for attorney general.
This is Katherine Robertson. I am honored to earn the trust of law enforcement. I've spent my career fighting for Alabama families, and I'm just getting started. I'll stand with President Trump to deport violent illegals and ensure our law enforcement has the support they need. Because in Alabama, if you commit a crime, you pay for it. No excuses. Visit KatherineForAG.com to join the fight.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made.
Sometime, take a close look around your house.
This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's.
If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of Current Safe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe.
Oh, my daughter's second-grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this.
Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085 for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe. Know it's safe.
Now you'll be safe with Current Safe. I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. That changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
That's our show, but the joke's on you, because we got paid anyway.
I'm going home to live my creepy, pathetic life.
I'm gonna have to ask you and your party to leave.
Slap yourself very hard in the face, then leave.
Could you just leave the room, please?
Leave me alone.
Leave us alone!
I have to undergo an exit interview.
The circle is now complete.
Bye, sexy.
You've got to be kidding me.
Wake it up now, 'cause it's Monday.
Well, the music I normally play there is not there. I got to find it. We can't close the show without it. Here we go. Wow. On behalf of Pamela Dubuque, with special thanks to Jeff Anesky from CBS8 for joining us, and of course, our partner David Blackman. Thanks for tuning in. Back tomorrow morning, bright and early with Rich Stuff. And of course, Jay Scott.
You get a little tappity tap. Adios, muchacho.
Say that was a pretty successful broadcast.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Stand by for news.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A 10-day ceasefire announced by President Trump and agreed on by Lebanon and Israel has started. Barrages of gunshots rang out across Beirut early Friday as residents fired into the air to celebrate the beginning